don't know if it's going to work. And I think I might be on YouTube twice. I hope not. Let me have a check. I don't think it's working. Oh, have I got someone on? Ah, Paul and Annie. Yes, it is working. I was looking on YouTube and I couldn't see myself. So, hello, hello, hello. I was about to go live about 45 minutes ago, not quite, half an hour ago, and someone came to talk to me, so I had to delay. So, thank you for joining me. Um, I haven't written a list of what I'm going to talk about, but I want. Ah, hi Mel. Um, I want to talk about my complaint again because there's been a bit of an update. Um, so I want to know if you think I should be more Karen. So that's was going to be the title of this, except it was swirling on YouTube when I was trying to go live, which is why, if it had worked, then Janice, one of my counsellors, would have come in while I was live and wanted to talk to me. So that would have been awkward. So it didn't work. So it's probably good that it didn't work in a way because I managed to talk to Janice and now she's gone off to see a client and I can be uninterrupted. But anyway, I started trying to go live and I had my title, which is Should I Be More Karen? And then it didn't go live. And then I've been trying to use Riverside, which I'm using now, to go live, and that wasn't working. I just couldn't get into the studio. I just didn't want to play ball. So I've got 4 people. It's really warm in here today. Oh, the heating's on as well. Never mind. The sun has been shining through. So when I've recorded a podcast today, and I had to sit back here because so the sun wasn't in my eyes. So what's everybody been up to? Yeah, Paul messaged me earlier and said, "What time are you going live?" And I was like, "I don't know," because I'd literally just come off a podcast episode, and I recorded it with Janet Murray, who's been on before, and she said, "Oh, I forgot to take a picture. Can you send me one?" So I sent her one, and it's AI generated, and it's oh my god! I don't know if you let's see if you can see this. It's pretty hilarious. If you're on my Facebook, go and have a look. It's so funny. Janet thinks it makes her look like a grandma. Um, I actually think it's all right. Mine's all right, except I was actually wearing headphones um, on the actual recording. So, but it's taken off the headphones. It's taken, and Janet had them on as well, and it's took her headphones off as well. So brilliant. Ah, Ian's here. Hello, Ian. Um, how was London, says Paul. Yes, I'm going to talk about that today. Definitely. So, Wednesday. Yes, I got up really early at 5:30 to go to London because I'm sick of. Hi, Uta. Good morning from the Hudson Valley. I'm sick of being in a hurry to try and get me train, so I got up a bit earlier because Ian gets up at 5:30, so I decided to get up at the same time as him. And I went in the shower, and you don't need to know that, do you? Get on with it, Kelly. Shut up. Um, yeah, I had plenty of time. I had my breakfast, and I went on the train. Now, what was it like on the way there? I can't remember who I was sitting next to. I can picture who I was sitting next to on the way back. Anyway, I met my friend Marilyn. Is it Marilyn? I thought her name was Marilyn, but then I saw it written down because she's Australian, so she says it Marilyn because of our Australian accent. But it's written down and it's Marilyn, so I have to say it like that as well. So she was off work, so she met me at King's Cross. So I met her. That was good. She was pleased to see me, and she's going off to Germany for a week in November. Oh, Uta was on Irene's live stream yesterday. I don't know who Irene is. You'll have to let me know who that is. Um, yeah. Um, so I met. Oh yes, and there was some to and fro about what time it started because on the website it said on the caption and on the information underneath it had two different sets of information. So one bit of information said 12 till 2 and the other bit of information said 12 till 3. I can't remember which way around it was. And then there was a post in the Nest as well that said 1 o'clock till 2 o'clock. So nobody knew what time it was going to start. So there was some discussion in one of the group chats. Irene Brit USA. See, Annie knows who she is as well. Irene Brit USA talks about trans people in sport. Ah, right. Okay. Interesting. I think I might have heard of her before. Irene did a live stream about the Gold's Gym crossdresser telling us that he'd beaten up his wife and saved time. Oh my god, these men are awful. Aren't they flipping? What's wrong with them? So yeah, there was a bit of discussion in the chat, which is from the election. And so like Linda was going to go, but she thought it was 1 o'clock, and then she thought it was 12. So she thought she was going to be late. And then we had confirmation that Kelly Jade said it was definitely 12 o'clock. And I was like, right, okay, well, I mean, I was going to make it no matter what time. So it was about 20 to 12 when me and Marilyn got there. And there was some women sitting on the wall eating their lunch. And then I got confirmation that it was actually 1 o'clock. Am I rambling? Is this boring? I'm sure you don't really care what time it started. And then like loads of people came, and then this bloke came over, and he said he was from GLA and started talking to me as if I knew what that was. Like I gathered what it was, but I didn't really know. Greater London Authority, we manage this land and all this. And I was just glaring at him going, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me where I can stand and where I can't. And I just thought, nah, I'm just going to ignore him because I don't really care if he thinks that we can't gather here. So he told us that we couldn't gather and that we'd have to move because someone else had asked for permission and we hadn't. And I was like, well, we don't have to ask for permission. And then, so there was lots of to and fro with this bloke who was trying to tell me. I was like, I'm not the organiser. So I kind of walked off and he talked to someone else instead. And they were like going, oh, well, can we meet here? And can we meet there? And I was like, I'm not asking him for permission about where we're going to meet. But especially because we don't know whether we've got permission and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't know who they've talked to. We're not the organisers. I'm not going to talk to him. As far as I was concerned, we were just standing next to Millicent Fawcett's statue. Anyway, in the end, he found out from the other women that weren't actually a proper protest. It was like a free speech event, and we just had flags and a few signs, but it wasn't like a proper full on like whatever. So he said we could stay. Very kind of him. And then so I looked over by Parliament, and I've done a vlog on this, a very short vlog. I looked over, and there was Pink Ladies flags over by Parliament, so they were protesting. They actually came over like before it started, so that was good. I got to meet some of them, and the speeches were really good. There was a woman who worked for the civil service, and she was shaking like a leaf. But she said that, what did she say? I can't even remember. It was only 2 days ago. God, my memory's terrible. It was a really good speech though, and she said that she was worried about speaking out in the civil service and what they were doing. There was a few good speeches, and then this woman got up at the end who worked for the NHS, and oh my God, she was just swearing and all sorts. So I've asked her to come on the podcast. I had 2 sisters, and I can't remember what their names are, but I've seen them loads at Let Women Speak, but they are from London. And one of them took me cards to the Pink Ladies and handed them out. So yeah, so that was good. And so Paul is saying that there are restrictions in Parliament Square about protest banners and signs. Well, yeah, but I don't like being told what to do, especially when it's not me who's in charge. I didn't, like, if I was planning it, I would have looked into all that, but I wasn't, so I didn't want to be told off by some strange bloke, so I just don't like it. Yeah. Anyway, warm. I think I might put the fan on actually, because is it plugged in? Yes, it is. Oh, that's better. Oh, that's nice. But yeah, I spoke to loads of women yesterday, and I gave loads of my cards out. I asked quite a few people to come on my podcast, so I'm hoping they'll get in touch. And I met a load of Pink Ladies. They came over to watch, but they didn't stay for the whole thing. Oh, the kids came past. That was just brilliant. So because of where we were, there was loads of school children walking past with their teachers. So every time there was a group of kids coming past, Kelly J started talking to them about single-sex toilets. I'm just using me vapor rub because I feel like I'm blocked up. So I made a cup of tea to come on live, and then didn't come on live, and I've finished my cup of tea while I was talking to Janice. But I have still got water off. So today I've been recording a podcast with Janet Murray, so that was good, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. I've got water left off that, so that's good. Yeah, so the school kids, like, they were really interested, particularly the girls. Like Kelly J did an interview with AY Audits at the end, which I'll talk a bit more about in a minute. And I watched that, and she said that the kids were waving. I didn't see any girls waving, but they were like really smiling, and they were like, ooh, they were really interested. Yeah, that's absolutely true. KGK never misses an opportunity. She doesn't. So she's on about having a Let Women Speak Outside Tate modern, because she's going on about what museums, where do kids go on school trips. So she was telling them what a single sex toilet looks like, and if your teachers are telling you that you can be that boys can be girls and girls can be boys, then they're activist teachers and they're wrong and that's not right. And one of the teachers told her to stop talking to the children. And she didn't, of course. So yeah, it was a really good day, and then we went to the Westminster Arms afterwards, which was really good, apart from the barman was a bit of an arse. Yeah, he was like glaring at us, and he kept spilling me drink. Every time I went to the bar for a drink, he spilt me drink. Oh, but there was this sign up in the Westminster Arms about votes and the division bell, which I thought that was just a Pink Floyd song stroke album. I'm not sure if it's a song, but it is an album, isn't it? But apparently there's these division bells in lots of places around Westminster, and that goes off 8 minutes before a vote's due to take place, so that the MPs can go back and vote. And if they're late, they can't cast their vote. They've got 8 minutes to do it. So there was a big sign up, and I was interested in that, because I'd never heard of that before. And I was wondering how it works. So if anybody knows how that works, can you let me know? Like, how do they get the message to the bell to make it ring? Do they do it by telegraph, where they press it somewhere else and it goes off in the pub? Or do they used to send a carrier pigeon? I don't know. Or, because they wouldn't have had the internet back then. Otherwise they wouldn't have needed a bell, would they? Anyway, so that was good. Yeah, let me talk about AY, yeah, while they're drunk. I thought that was funny as well. Like, I think probably back when they had those, the culture would have been different, because it's quite frowned on to go to work after you've had a drink these days. But like back in the old days when you could smoke in pubs and stuff, it wasn't frowned upon, was it? Political barman, no tips for that one. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was because of our t-shirts and stuff. I don't know. He didn't really make that clear. Because someone said, oh, he's probably a student, but he wasn't. He absolutely wasn't a student. He was older than that. But the barman on before him were really nice and friendly, but he was horrible, and he was taking photos of us. And I think Eve, who we met in the summer, me and Annie met her in the summer, she was there, and she made a complaint. Carrier pigeon. Yes, well, Ian likes his pigeons, don't you? That would be good, wouldn't it? Because I bet there's plenty of pigeons around Parliament. Yeah, AY Audits came over. Now, I've never seen any of his videos, I don't think. But I saw him outside the court, the Westminster Magistrates Court, when Tommy Robinson was there last time for his terrorism charge, the first time when they were given evidence and everything. And he was outside, and he got on... if he took photos of you, I think he's a woke one. Well, it's actually against the law as well, so yeah, it's not good. But some of the women took photos of him as well, so just to get revenge. Paul knows this. The division bell used to work by copper phone lines. Thank you. Yes, I'm not really known. I've never heard of it before, and Ian had heard of it, but he didn't know how it worked. So it's good to know. Copper wires. So anyway, so I'd seen him on the channel talking about what he does, and Tommy Robinson knew who he was, because he's been filming inside of migrant hotels. Like, so he must have... Oh, that's better. We'll have a bit of light, will we? So you can see my face. So yeah, so he does audits of migrant hotels, and apparently he's under persecution. They've demonetized his channel, and I think he's been arrested. He's in some sort of trouble. Um, so I spotted him, and he saw me looking at him, so I waved and said hello. Um, and then he did an interview with Kelly J, and then I got to talk to him afterwards because we're headed towards where he was standing as we go to the pub. So and then I think Kelly J got interviewed by someone else, so we had to stop. So I got talking to him, and I said, and he was talking to us about being demonetized and stuff. He said he's not that bothered. They'll just take a bit of money and stuff. So yeah, so that was good. It was good in the pub, but I had food envy because I didn't know what to have, so I asked Linda, and she was having fish goujons and chips, and I couldn't decide whether to get a burger or the fish goujons. And I thought, right, well, I'm just going to go to the bar, and then when I'm under pressure, I'll have to make a decision. And I chose a burger. And then when I got back to the table, these fish goujons came, and honestly, they were like that. They were huge. They looked so nice. And so I had food envy. And then Marilyn got the same, and my burger and Marilyn's fish came out at the same time, and I was upset. So if I ever go back there, I'm having fish goujons. But yeah, I was standing at the bar, and this woman was like, you look familiar. And I was like, oh. And so I started telling her how she might know me. Like, I've got a podcast. And then she was like, Philia? I was like, no, definitely not. No, I wouldn't go to... talking about Philia. This woman on my Facebook, and I've not noticed her before, so I don't know if she just doesn't post very often, but she's made a post and said that she's stopped allegiance dealings with Philia. She's not going to help organise it anymore, which I think is a shame because it's potentially a good thing, but because of all the shit that's happened, it's really bad. Yeah, so I'm really glad that Uta has got, is it number 75, Uta, that you've got? I think it is number 75, Transidol, that I managed to connect her with. And I've asked this other woman who I know, and she's agreed, so she's going to get in touch with Uta, and hopefully that'll be number 76. Yeah, so it was quite adventurous, and I wasn't going to vlog when I was there, but I ended up taking some photos and some videos, and I just thought, I'm going to put a vlog together, just a short one. So I only got a couple of the speeches, but I put me photos on there as well. There's a really wonky photo of Big Ben on me vlog. I'm really sorry. I'm always getting people complaining about me horizon being wonky on Facebook when I take a photo of the sea down at the bottom of the street. It's a really gloomy, foggy day today. The castle looked amazing though on my way to work. So on my way to work, I drove along the seafront, and like the coastline kind of comes in and out, and I could see Tynemouth Castle, and it was in the fog, and I just thought that would make a brilliant photo, but I knew if I stopped and took a photo of it, it wouldn't look half as good as I imagined the picture could look if I had like a proper all the rage camera, but I haven't got any of that. So the sun was like peeking through the clouds, and the Tynemouth Priory and Castle were like enveloped in a little bit of mist, so you could see it, but it was very atmospheric. Yeah, what's the weather like in America today, Uta? And what's it like down south, Paul? And what's it like in Teesside, Annie? And Mel, I don't know where you are. What's it like where you are? So I couldn't believe it because it was really oh, is the fan too noisy? I've just realised it's right next to the microphone. I might move it over here. My fan, move it over here, away from the microphone. Um, so yeah, what else has happened? Have I talked about my complaint about why I'm going to be more Karen? I can't even remember. Shall I talk about that now? I don't think I have. Right, so you'll have heard it's overcast and gloomy. Ah, yeah, same as here, really, really gloomy. But the sun did come out. It did come out for a bit while I was on me doing recording a podcast. So Mel says she's in London and it's overcast and colder again. Yeah, it was quite nice on Wednesday. Wow, it wasn't that sunny, I don't think, but it was warm enough. I was sweltering. Um, yeah. So what's happened with me complaint? So I'll just briefly describe what's happened in case anybody's watching who hasn't seen me other videos. But sorry if you know all about this because it's going to be boring. So basically, I poked a few TRAs on LinkedIn. 4 of them complained about me to my professional body, who suspended me, even though that was like the complaints process is supposed to be for clients of counsellors, and these people were not my clients. They weren't potential clients, and they also have a bit in their policy about supporting counsellors' freedom of speech. But they suspended me. Free Speech Union, I got them involved, and like, funnily enough, they didn't suspend me straight away. I had like 3 of them complain about me, and it was only when I started laughing at this woman for being ridiculous and threatening to complain about me, and then she sent them to the NCPS, that I actually got suspended. And it was, and when I mentioned about children and it being abusive to trans children, I think that was what tipped them over the edge. Anyway, so I was suspended. The Free Speech Union got involved, and I sent a 13-page rebuttal, which was absolutely fantastic. And they lifted the suspension, but left the complaint open in case the police got involved. The police did get involved, but I think when they found out that where I live, which is a lot further away than this police force, because it was Kent Police and I'm in the north, and it's a long way, it's on the other side of the country, they decided there was evidential difficulties, i.e. there wasn't any evidence, and they dropped it. And so the 3 months, so they were leaving the complaint open for 3 months to allow the police to investigate, and they said that if there was a police matter then they might investigate it again. So it was the end of the 3 months at the end of October. So I sent an email to ask if the complaint had been closed, and I've had an email back. This is the new bit of information. I had an email back saying yes, the complaint was closed, and they've backtracked a bit. They haven't apologised, but they've said it's very controversial, these things, and they're going to look at their processes and stuff. I think they said something along those lines. So I think I'm probably going to complain about the fact that they took it forward anyway, because they shouldn't have. Free Speech Union I've sent the response to them, and they've said, oh, that's really good. I hope it's let's hope you don't need to use this again, but we're here if you do, something along those lines. So they've made it clear that they don't think there's any more mileage for them to stay involved. But I think that I should complain to NCPS about their behaviour, their actions, because they shouldn't have suspended me. That was nothing to do with my counselling practice, and so it shouldn't have been a complaint. They should have just filtered it out. And when I challenged them, or Free Speech Union wrote the challenge to that, said that they wanted to give me the chance to respond to the complaint. I'm not sure. Probably. I would have thought they'll be keeping data. Not sure. And also, when I did me subject access, so I'm trying to decide whether I put in a subject access request to NCPS to see if I can find out any more about what happened internally regarding this. So I think I might do that, because it might add weight to my complaint. But also, the subject access request that I put into Kent Police has misrepresented the situation, so I might put in a complaint about that as well, and the fact that they took forward an investigation about harassment when there wasn't any harassment, so I might make a complaint about that as well. So I'm just considering what I might do next. And the other possibility is going after the women who complained. Oh, one of them was anonymous, so I can't go after him or her. But 3 of them aren't anonymous. One of them's very well known, and has been in trouble for her behaviour in relation to children and puberty blockers. I'm not sure if I should say her name or not, but I won't, just in case. So I'm not sure who I could complain to regarding her, but one of them I'd have to investigate if there's anybody to complain about. But this other one that I'm thinking, she actually had on her Instagram profile that if you say things like anti-trans, like transphobic stuff, and you're a counsellor or an accountant, or you have any sort of professional body, that she would take evidence and complain to your professional body. And so I might go after her. I think she might be a counsellor, I'm not sure. And then the 4th person, like the 3rd person was anonymous, but the 4th person works for the BACP, and I think she's the one who went to the police, because she lives in the same area as the police force who contacted me. And I might just complain about her to the BACP for malicious complaints. But I need to decide whether it's worth me time and energy. What do you think? Interested in some feedback. So you're in good company, Kelly. James Essers. Yes, I think James Essers, I think his case was with UKCP, which is a different professional body to mine. But yeah, I'm just no, someone's rang, and I just wanted to make sure it wasn't important. They left a message, except they didn't leave a message, so there isn't actually a message, it's just they've hung up. Anyway, so that's what I need to decide, whether it's worth the time and effort just to get at them, because I don't think I'm not gonna win anything. I might get a begrudging apology if I'm lucky. So what do you think? Is it worth me time and energy? Well, I'm saying me. It will of course be Ian who does the majority of the work, because that's what he's good at. But I'll have to do a bit of work to pull the stuff together. Probably, although he's got all of it, so he probably could do it on his own. But he likes me to help him. We usually argue when I help him. I just don't understand why these organisations waste their time on these trivial issues. Fight the battles you can win Well, it's because they want to persecute people for speaking out. Probably. They're obviously activists. Now, this person who I've been dealing with at NCPS is the compliance manager. Is it the compliance? Let me check. I'm gonna get that up. Uh, Professional conduct manager, and all I've got is a first name, and I suspect that this person may be trans and might be not the sex that relates to the name that they've given me, or that person has children who are trans or something like that, because um, it was quite clear the tone of the emails that I was getting, um, it was quite, I would say it was likely that I'd really, really hit a nerve with what I was saying, particularly when I started talking about puberty blockers and sterilising children. Um, so, yeah. So Annie's saying, I have no experience of such things. Ian usually gives good advice, could teach them a lesson. Yeah. So that's basically why I'm thinking about doing it. It's to hold them to account, because I don't think enough people are being held to account these days. Oh, my nose is really blocked. Sorry. I've put some Vicks on me as well. It's not working because it's fake Vicks. It's Asda's own. They don't actually sell proper Vicks in Asda. And that's the shop next to me. And I needed some. So I got that one, but it's not as strong. It's rubbish. Actually, I think I might have some proper Vicks in my bag. Let me have a look. There it is. Yes, I have. Ah, that's better. That's much stronger. I was expecting a parcel last week and opened my door to find a police officer on my doorstep. Fortunately, I'm in the Met Police area. Really? So why is it fortunate that you're in Met Police Force area, Mel? And what did they want? Is it because the Met Police have said they're not going to investigate non-crime hate incidents anymore? To be honest, if the police have got anything about them, they won't persecute me. My local police, if they know who I am, they'll leave us alone. I've already caused quite a stir with the local council in 2012, and I think they're scared of me, so they won't mess with me. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I have bought I bought some postcards because I've been watching Stephen Barrett, the barrister. Has anybody else been watching him? Sorry. Stephen has said a few times that the online petitions are useless, and what you should be doing is writing to people. And it doesn't have to be long. Postcards are, 1 or 2 sentences on a postcard, and you should write to the king, because if he thinks that his neck's on the line because everyone's really cheesed off, then he might actually dissolve Parliament, which would be pretty good, wouldn't it? But also you should regularly send letters to your MP, your local councillors, and tell them that you're not happy. So I bought these postcards. There's 48 in the pack, and every time something happens that I'm not happy about, I'm just gonna write, "Dear King." Don't really like the king, to be honest. So it'll be very hard for me to call him Your Majesty and all that shit, but never mind. So yes, that's it. They were looking for someone who used to live here. Phew. Yeah, I had that, a few years after we moved into the house that we live in now. We've lived there for like 16 years or something. But when we first moved there, we we had police at the door because there was a car abandoned in a car park, like a local pub car park, on the other side of Whitley Bay, that had been abandoned, and it was registered at our address. Um, yeah, they were never away from our door actually. And Ian, my husband, saved me from being arrested. I'll tell you about this, right? So, when we moved, so I used to live in this other house, and when I moved in with Ian, I decided that I didn't want to sell it, just in case it didn't work out, because I had a really messy divorce, and I wanted to protect myself and my children in case my relationship didn't work out, and I needed somewhere else to go. So I rented it out. Um, and the tenants who I had, the bloke had the first name was the same as my ex-husband, and the woman had the same surname as my ex-husband. Um, and they put the gas and electric in his name, and he sent them to me. And the police turned up at the door, but they were being really vague, and they weren't telling us what exactly was they were investigating, what dates or anything. And so I was like trying to answer the questions, and back then I wasn't so good at like defending myself like I am now. I've been through quite a few battles since then. So I was like trying to answer these questions, and they thought that I'd been fraudulently using this gas and electric and putting it in my ex-husband's name. But it wasn't. It was these tenants. And so I was trying to say, like, I've got tenants living there. But yeah, so they weren't very clear. And in the finish, because Ian was trying to keep out of it, because it was none of his business, it wasn't his house, and we weren't married or anything. We just started living together. We'd been together for how long? Maybe 6 years or something, and we just moved in together. Um, and oh, hang on, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it was 5 years. Um, and he just couldn't stand it any longer because he thought I was going to be arrested. So he interrupted and said, like, asked clarifying questions, and then they realised it wasn't me that they were after. Oh, hello, fictional me. I've been on for 42 minutes and my hair's sticking out because I've got my fan on. But yes, it's nice to see you. And I saw you on Wednesday. It was good to see you on Wednesday. So yeah, so I was almost about to be arrested when Ian interjected and saved me from the police. And then, of course, by that time the tenants had moved out, and we were looking for some new tenants, but they'd moved out, and they told us where they were moving to in case there was any post or anything for them. But I couldn't remember the address. But we'd had been round to drop some letters off, so I knew where it was. So I was getting my laptop out, trying to find this street on Google Maps to tell the police what the street name was. Oh, it was horrific. But yes, that was the time I nearly got arrested for nothing. But can you imagine, like, the police are just, like, and I realised a few years ago that every single interaction that I've ever had with the police has been similar to that, like where they've been trying to persecute me, and I'm a law-abiding citizen, pretty much. Like, sometimes I drive too fast and stuff like that. I mean, do you know what I mean? But, like, I'm pretty law-abiding. You've been cleaning. Cleaning's not more important than coming on my live. And boiling, yeah. Hello to fictional me, says Paul. Yeah, so yeah, so that's been my experience. They've just been really hostile and horrible, and yeah, they've really lost the support of middle-aged women, to quote Sarah Fillmore, who quoted. So at the Battle of Ideas, um, I um, I quoted, I tweeted Sarah Phillimore, who said that once the police have lost middle-aged women, they haven't got very much further to fall. And I tweeted that, and she retweeted it, and then she used it in her Substack. So I'm famous. Like, loads of people say that they recognise me when I go to Let Women Speak, which is really nice. Um, I've got some really good guests lined up. So on Wednesday it's going to be Janet Murray. I just need to edit the podcast that I've just recorded. I also have a woman from UK Column coming on. And who else have I got? Just going to look at my diary because that'll help me remember. Yes, I've got one of the women who I met at Let Women Speak who wears tartan dresses and stuff. She's very interesting. I've got, yeah. And I've got another trans widow coming on. And then, I don't know who that is. And I've got Claire Dimian coming back on to talk about flags. That's in December. And I am looking people up on Twitter and inviting them to come on. So I've made a list. I'm hoping that some of the people from Wednesday will come on. I saw a woman who I'd talked to before, and she apologised that she hadn't been in touch because she'd lost my card, so I gave her another one. So yeah, I've got some really good guests coming up, hopefully. I was arrested and had my home searched because someone said I had done something which I definitely hadn't. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Yeah, that one must be really stressful. They were genuinely looking for this man. He was on probation and had gone AWOL. The policeman didn't put a foot wrong, how it should be. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad they treated you well. I was once given a Section 5 for defending my wife. I had to declare it when standing for Parliament. What's a Section 5, Paul? I've not heard of that before. And yeah, what was happening with your wife? Why did you need to defend her? Do you mean physically defend her, or was it like a process, a legal process or something? Yeah, so I'm a bit I thought Ian might come in the chat and say something about the time I nearly got arrested. He's probably busy cooking or something, because I'm not going for fish and chips tonight. So I'll be having yeah, thank you for correcting me typo. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Yeah, I thought Ian might come in the chat and say something about me nearly being arrested. It was quite a thing, and I was like panicking as well, trying to like come up with the bit that they were looking for, but they just kept making more and more vague questions. Yes, he's cooking. What are you cooking? Is it chicken again? We had chicken Kiev last night. It was very nice. We've had chicken probably 3 times this week, I think. And that's good because I like chicken. Oh yes, Una Jane was there on Wednesday as well, who's been on my podcast. So I asked her if she'd like to come back on, and she says she's got some sort of dispute, I think, about signs that she puts up outside her house. So she said it depends what's happening with that, but she said she was interested, so that'd be good. Because I think, excuse me, minestrone. Oh, we're having soup. Yeah, so I think yeah, we didn't have soup. We usually have soup on Wednesday. and it's not Wednesday, and it's probably because we didn't have it on Wednesday because I was in London. So I didn't have any dinner actually. I had a bar of chocolate on the train, but I wasn't really very hungry. So, because I had burger and chips for lunch. If you're feeling rubbish, it's not worth spending your energy with too many complaints, but I can talk. I'm an arch complainer. Yeah, I just think if we don't complain, then we're not going to stop them from keep on targeting us. Um, but I get your point. It won't be me doing the work, it'll be Ian. But it is still stressful. But because I haven't really got anything to lose, there's no stakes here. Got nothing to lose, it's just a bit of time. I don't think I'll be stressed about it. So, yeah, I'll weigh it up though. I think it's probably worth it. Yeah, so I've just had Janet Murray on my podcast, and she was saying basically, she had a Instagram account. So she was targeted and cancelled. She lost loads of work because she said she didn't like the phrase pregnant people. And then the same people targeted her Instagram account, and she wasn't going to do anything until her Instagram account got taken down for breach of copyright, even though she hasn't breached any copyright. And that was what made her take it forward. She's gonna take it forward now. She's gonna have a court case or whatever. She's going after them anyway, which I think is good. But obviously she's got cancer, so, and she's going through cancer treatment, so it's a big load of work for her. And it's worrying because she still has to make some sort of living as well. Oh, there's a big white van just pulled up outside my window. Oh, it might be me Amazon parcel. Let's have a look. I might have to go and answer the door. Oh, have I got... Oh, yes. It says it's 2 stops away, so that might be Amazon. So if it is, I'll have to leave you while I go and answer the door. But, well, yeah, am I done? I don't know. I think I am. I don't know if I've got anything else to talk about. Yes, it's definitely a parcel. He's gone the other way, though, so I don't know. Anyway, shall I say goodbye? Because I think there might be a knock on the door. And I'm not really... I'm struggling with talking because I feel all blocked up. Now, I've had a problem with dust in my office because they've been working round here. But I've got an air purifier and I've got my dehumidifier because I thought that might work. And it has seemed to work, but I don't know why I'm blocked up today. Like, maybe it's just because I've been talking too much. But anyway, thank you everyone for joining me on my live, and hopefully I'll see you next week. And yeah, if you can tune in on Wednesday at 8 o'clock, it'll be my interview with Janet Murray, which is really good. You won't want to miss it, and I'll see you in the chat, hopefully. See you later. Goodbye.